Hey y'all, hey. We are here and y'all know I'm silly in the back. We are
Yes.
here, y'all. It is Grace to Teach month, and I'm excited. I got my sis with here. Fellow Hamptonian, baby. You
Yes,
see
ma'am.
that anchor down there? Period. Tonight they stand for these pirates. Boo, rock the blue and white. Okay, I'm calm down. Right. So I'm super excited about these pop-ups. What do you do when you've done all you can do? We got a really big heart for educators. And I got an educator who I met real recently. When she started talking, I was like, oh, so that's what we're gonna be doing together. Yeah. So if you would introduce yourself, sis.
Sure. My name is Dr. Keena Culver, and I am a 20-year, 2 decades in the mix of being an educator. I have served families, children, from being a director of a daycare all the way up to serving pre-service teachers in college. So I have run the whole gamut, P20, because learning doesn't stop. And as you continue to evolve as a learner, it never stops. Like it continues to go on. And just as you brought up, Kanisha, about just our genesis of recognizing where the connection was in Hampton, and just want to even bring to light that even right now, like right now today, I was on the campus of Hampton University 24 years ago today when things happened with 9/11. And so today again, Hampton University closed down their school today and tomorrow because of potential threats. And so this day, being the day that it is, as the country remembers those who were lost, it's also a very triggering day for many. And then you have the things that happen, yesterday on a school, in schools, shootings in both places, and then this today, the threats. And there's a lot going on. And people don't know what to do because they've never found themselves in these situations. And so most of the time when we find ourselves in situations, it's fight or flight or freeze. But today I want to encourage you, if you find yourself in a situation where you find yourself not knowing what to do, where things are just going off the rocker, you can be in your classroom if you're a teacher, or even if you're a leader, because you're still a learner, you're still an educator at the end of the day. I just want to encourage you to do three things. First thing is immerse yourself in the thing that's going to cause you to be quiet, whether that's immersing yourself in the word, whether that's immersing yourself in prayer, immersing yourself in worship. Immerse yourself. And sometimes, even if it's a game, if you like playing royal match, just something to get your mind off of the present thing. um, Immerse yourself in that thing for the moment. And after you've had and set a timer deliberately, be specific about your time, be intentional about your time. Set a timer, immerse yourself in something that takes your mind off the immediate. Give yourself 10, 15 minutes, no more. Then that can allow you to embrace what's happening. So after you've immersed yourself in everything, now it's time to embrace what's happening and really look at it for what it is. Have the opportunity to remove your feelings from it. So what's going on? Is it that all of the students are not listening, or is it just those same three that are not listening? Because sometimes when we get overwhelmed with our emotions, we can't really see things for what they really are. So once we have the time to immerse ourselves in things that kind of grounds us and centers us and gets us out of our feelings, we can begin to embrace the situation as it is. And then after we've embraced what the truth is, what we're really seeing, then we can go on to encourage. And sometimes, as David said, we need to encourage ourselves, but I found it more of a blessing to encourage someone else. Because most of the time, when we're in a school setting, we're not in this thing by ourselves. Being in a school is a very social thing. And I think we forget about that. And the education system has been transformed to just be one of a business, and it's about numbers. But one of the things that I like to say to people that, yes, numbers are important, but when we're dealing with people, there are stories behind those numbers. And so we have to remember that we have to connect to those stories and those situations behind those numbers when we're dealing with students, but not just the students. Back in 2011, Castle was established to help teachers learn how to teach social emotional learning to students. But what we have not had as of now is making sure that teachers and administrators get the learning that they need for emotional intelligence.
Hold on, wait,
Emotional
pause. Tassel, is that
Castle,
Tassel?
Casel.
Okay. Tell us what Castle was one more time, just in case there's somebody in education who hadn't been exposed to it.
It's the organization that put together the frameworks for social emotional learning.
Got it. Okay. Now
Yeah,
where are we?
let's go. But what's missing is the need for teachers and for the adults to get the emotional intelligence training. Um, Research shows that what combats burnout is emotional intelligence. And how do I develop my emotional intelligence if I don't have someone there to teach me first what it is, to teach me what I'm supposed to do? What does that look like for me as an adult? So you could be used to teaching what social and emotional, learning is for these students, but what does that look like for a big grown adult who has bills to pay, who has things, and whose uh, administrators on their back because you need these scores to move. We are able to help. As a doctoral student, my research was on the emotional intelligence of K-12 teachers and how it related to teacher attrition. And what we found is that a lot of teachers don't know when to walk away. Knowing when to walk away is a sign of having emotional intelligence. Research shows that the most emotionally intelligent group of teachers were found in the middle schools. You have to have a special heart for students in middle school. I am a middle school person. I taught middle school for the bulk of my career, and it takes a special gift from the Holy Ghost to be able to deal with those babies and grown-ups that are merged together.
Somebody
And
tag my
so,
mom in here because she boycotts middle schoolers. Okay, they can't come over here.
but what you notice is someone who's not called to middle school knows automatically, nope, that's not my age. I'm not dealing with it. And so they will not go into those middle grades. And then someone who is called to it, they're like, yes, I am well aware. I am able to handle this. I'm going to go into it. And so they showed that middle school teachers are the most emotionally intelligent because they are able to know, I can do this. I cannot do this. Same thing when it comes to high school. We have this thought that the teachers in high school feel like they have to be there because this is the last few years. And so they overextend themselves. And it's like, but I have to because these kids are going out. And there's a way to balance what you are supposed to do as a professional, but also what you're supposed to do as an individual. If you overextend yourself to the point where you're burning out and there's nothing left in your own cup is not filled, you are not helping those students that you so desperately want to help. And so as as a researcher, I am transitioning into practitioner. On this end, I travel and I coach administrators and teachers. And what I found during those sessions is I'm doing more talking about them, about what they're going through and how that impacts the other thing. Everyone knows that as individuals, we are vessels. And so what goes in to us being used, and since we are saved individuals, we know that God can use anyone, but we also know that the vessel is subject to the vessel. So just like he used Moses and he told Moses to speak to the rock, but Moses struck the rock, he was still the vessel that God wanted to use, but he was subject to what was going on, what was in Moses. And so we have to be conscious of what's in our vessels because God may want to use us and he may pour in all of this wisdom and this love for us to give to these students. But because we have our own situations and we have our own things that are going on, it becomes tainted. And so we'll bring all of the stressors and the traumas,
Yeah.
and it gets filtered in and mixed in. And so we're pouring out of a tainted cup. Yes,
I got
ma'am.
one. I got one. Because this tainted cup situation and then Moses striking the rock instead of speaking to the rock, like, can we sit with that for a second? Because that seems like a red flag when you got a difficulty in your school or the system or with an administrator, when you want to respond in this particular way, and when it's giving fight, like that's a red flag because it's giving high risk for go to jail. You know,
Mhm.
and there,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
can we just sit with that for a little bit and manage it? Because you gave the three tips, but what else would you add to that? And us recognizing that, because that's because we've seen let's tell the truth, we done seen the videos of the teachers straight WWF and these kids in the classroom, and you was like, what happened before that? Because they didn't just walk into the school and decide to be this person. That was
Absolutely.
escalated over time. So can you speak to that?
Um, it comes down to lack of support. And if, like, for example, when I have 4 children, and at any given day, not just one thing can pop off. We can have multiple things popping off. But between my husband and I, each of us have to know, all right, today ain't my day. I need some
Mhm.
help. And so if I found that I'm already on a short edge, I'm dealing with a short stick today,
Yeah.
my husband can jump in and help out. What happens a lot of times, one, because of understaffing, underfunding, lack of knowledge,
Mhm.
lack of professional development, teachers don't always get the support that they need from their administrators. And so where an administrator can come in and help diffuse a situation or help, to maybe even separate or just give a minute. um you don't always have that. Why? Because everybody, the stuff flows down. Everybody has their own things that they're carrying and they're burdened with. But we have to find a way to bring that unity to where the school becomes this family and this camaraderie where it's like, okay, hey, I need you to come over here and get this child, give me a minute so that I can get myself back on track so that I'm not popping off and smacking somebody's child, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to,
Regardless of how much that child needed.
or I'm not here to lay hands in that way. So because I understand that, and because that's easy, right? That's the easy thing to do, to just fly off the handle. It takes much more strength to really remind yourself, I know this child has an adult sized body, but this is the
Mhm.
child. And what happens is we get blinded by what we see. It's just whatever we see in that in our sights. When we're getting emotionally full, we can only deal with what we see in front of us, and it's not always the reality. Anitra, am I frozen? Or you? Hello? Well, it looks like Anitra dropped off. But I just want to say, grace to teach. It truly is. It's a movement. It's something that's definitely needed. If you have not registered for the Grace to Teach conference, you want to do that. You want to do that so that you can get what you need during that time. We're going to have some interactive sessions. We're going to actually have, I know most educators don't like lesson plans, but we know that the benefit of planning means that you're going to have a great performance. And we know the old saying goes, poor preparation Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I'll say that again. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And so that's the same thing in our emotional states. We want to make sure that we are taking some time to prepare and prepare ourselves emotionally, prepare ourselves spiritually and socially. We are in a field where what we're doing and who we're engaging is sent and designed by God. You are in the classrooms, you are in the school building, you are where you are because God strategically placed you there. And so finding out why you're there, what's the purpose of me being in this place? How long do I have to be here? Finding out all of those answers takes a little bit of time of sitting and immersing yourself in the presence of God so that he can speak to you. But ultimately, after he speaks to you, we have to act. Sometimes we like to take things and we just mull it over and say, okay, well, at some point, but this may be that point. I remember some years ago, my pastor used to say, there's a time to pray and there's a time to act. And we love praying, but sometimes action needs to happen because prayer gives us the strategy to be able to act. And if we're not taking that time to pray, to get the strategy, what we're doing it for, to act. Welcome back, Kanitra.
And I bless the Lord, y'all just keep the party going. Y'all need me for
You,
this.
you,
Y'all
you
need
just keep it on.
That's so good. I ain't gonna ask y'all what I missed. I know
You're gonna
that
have to
the
go back and
king
watch the
gonna
replay.
have to watch. Ah, man, it's all right. We the king and queens of replays around here, but I know you definitely have dropped some tea for sure. I say thank y'all in the comments for sticking with my sis over here. Make sure everything
I
good.
appreciate it.
Okay. Yes, I don't know. I still don't know. My computer's not doing right, but I will say that I'm glad that we're having a conversation. And if there is something, y'all, that Dr. Keena has said that resonated with you, I want you to drop it in the comments, right? Because we are paying attention to what y'all are saying. We are getting ready for the summit next weekend. Y'all, that time flew by.
Mm-hmm.
That time has flown by. I would say this, what do you do? Well, one of the things that you do is connect in spaces that are making you as a person a priority, you as a
Mm-hmm.
human a priority. And that's legitimately what's happening on next weekend. Like the whole squad, like everybody is in education, everybody has studied something, everybody's got a product, got a degree, got a book, got something from the perspective of being an educator. And I love that. And the fact that we will all kind of just come together, at the timing that we came together, I was like, okay, Lord, like you are really serious about this. And you are creating a space for educators to, recover and retreat. Like you
Yeah.
have to have that space. And like you said, with the emotionally intelligent, shout out to all of the middle schoolers, the middle school educators for their level of emotional intelligence. But what about the rest of the educators?
Mm-hmm.
We got to get the rest of them up to par. So, I did want to ask, we got like 6 minutes. I did
All
want
right.
to ask you this because when we first, I think maybe that second conversation we had, you talked about how you have over the years ended up having these conversations with educators, and it ends up being like this completely therapeutic experience. And I thought that was amazing because sometimes a conversation is what some people need to choose the right thing, even though it's the
Mm-hmm.
hard thing. I want you to talk a little bit, about that and kind of where you feel like you're being led.
So very interesting. I started off in undergrad with my major being English education, and then talking to an advisor was after the second day when a specific professor, I will not name, told us we had to read 500 pages by the next class. I was like, oh, yeah, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And so my major changed to psychology, and it was the greatest experience. So I graduated with a bachelor's in psychology, and so I was between two. I wanted to get my PsyD to be a therapist because of all the great things that I've learned in psychology, but I also wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher. And I believe that the Lord is put me in a space where the two can converge, where I've had the time and am having the time in the education space to know what's going on, to know what people are experiencing, to be able to offer help. And so I will be transitioning. I call it my retirement plan, transitioning into being a coach and a counselor and therapist specifically for educators, because it takes an educator to know an educator and be able to help an educator. There are so many, the mindsets are just different. And so I
Mhm.
want to be able to offer um, them the help that they need, us the help that they need, the need that I thought I wish I would have had. I want to be able to
Mhm.
be that for someone else. So that transition, and those that know me know I have 4 earned degrees. So yeah, one more just to be able to get that licensed practitioner consult. I know I'm getting an LPC.
Come on,
So I need
four
this.
earned degrees.
So I need this master's, and right, it'll be the fifth one. So that's the grace, right? So that'll be it. It'll be it for real. Um, to be able to do everything that I believe that God desires for me to do in earth.
That's dope. That is dope, and I love it because there is a crying out in the earth that is happening,
Mhm,
and there's a lot of reasons why it is coming up now. And the earth also groans for the sons and the daughters of the Lord, essentially to
mhm,
arise to the occasion. This
mhm.
is that moment. This
Yep.
is this is that time where we are rising, and the things that are happening in our country, in our community, and physically in the earth, the ground
Mhm.
itself, is a result of the seasons that we have been quiet. And so now it's time for us to make some noise, and to make that noise, and it be the right noise. We have
Right.
to be well persons, and we have to understand everything going on around here. Y'all, lights is flickering. Oh, we must be in the bay, honey. Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, it is a time. I'm gonna say this, we were out for real for real. Help me, Holy Spirit. The education system is a force in the earth.
Mhm,
If we abandon it to the systems of the world, to be managed by the systems of the world, it's the equivalent to giving the children away. And
mhm,
so our educators need to be supported because they are fighting for a lineage.
mhm.
They are fighting for generations, and they're doing a whole lot more than just teaching. Teachers are helping to raise and rear our children.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we cannot be okay with them not being okay. We will not be okay
Absolutely.
if our educators are not okay. So we've got to, everybody needs to reprioritize how we're
Yeah.
doing things. It's like it takes a village. It really takes a village. It takes
Mhm.
a village. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for your yes. Y'all know how I be bothering y'all. I be bothering her too. Okay. Everybody gets
Thank
it,
you.
okay?
Thank you. You
Right?
just are to me what I am to other people, because I'll stay on somebody like, what you say you want to do? All right, let's do it.
Let's
So I
go.
appreciate
What we
it.
doing? Drop me a
I
link.
appreciate
Drop
it.
me a link. Absolutely. I'm excited. Dr. Keena is going to run, she's gonna do a session during the summit, y'all. And it's kind of like your wellness, whatever name is, like
The lesson plan,
your
wellness
wellness
lesson
lesson
plan.
plans. Yes. Right. Plot twist. The lesson plan. So y'all make sure y'all tagging educators in. Y'all let them know what's going on. And we even want to invite y'all to nominate a teacher, right? We want to give away a weekend stay, connecting with some hotels to see who wants to sew into what we are doing here. So thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for tagging. Gifts are coming. One of our partners is in the comments. Her name is Kim Wilson. I don't have it with me because my house is a little bit under construction right now. But we're going to be getting wellness kits out in the mail. We've got some amazing partners, and I'm so grateful. Tortanisha and Card, I don't know if I said her first name right. Sis, get me together, right? But she's our keynote speaker. She was in the comments a little bit earlier too. So just the team, y'all. The team is amazing, and I'm so grateful. The weekly sessions with Mashika of Anchor Teachers is going on. If you missed it last night, run it back and watch the replay. We're doing different pop-ups. If anybody wants to pop up for my Grace to Teach crew, just drop the link is there. We'll pop up and we'll talk because I love celebrating builders who are building for the right thing, and education is definitely one of them. So our last words will be this: what would you say to the people and tell them how they can keep up with you and follow you?
Great. If you would like to follow me and just see what's going on in my life, it's Dr. underscore K Culver. Um, but if you would like to connect with me on a professional level, because I very much believe in balance, you got to have fun in life because that's what life is for. You can go to my website at weareinsighted.com. WeareinsightEd.com. And connect if you want some training for your teachers to, on that emotional intelligence piece. I'm here for you. We can partner together and make sure that you have a well run and organized building and healthy teachers. All right, Kanitra, you went out again, but it's all right. So thank you all so much. We can't wait for Grace to Teach Summit next week. And if you haven't signed up, please make sure you sign up. It is going to be the bomb, and I can't wait. I'm excited. And you're back. It's like commercial breaks.
Not you with the perfect clue, and you're back. Not broadcasted. Okay, y'all. That is that. That is that. The team, the dream team has us. The Avengers have assembled. Okay, like totally. Y'all check in with her. The Doctor underscore Kate Culver and Insighted. Hold on. How did you say it?
We
The
are Insight
insighted.com.
Ed. Yeah, we are in. You could pronounce it as Insighted
Insighted.com.
or Insighted, either one. But we are Insighted.com.
.com, right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wonder, do this. What was your three things again? Because you started off with those 3 points. Let's hit them for the team one more time before we go.
Immerse, then you're going to embrace, and then you're going to encourage. Immerse yourself in the word and prayer and worship. Embrace what's going on and embrace it in the reality of what it is. And then encourage, because it's not just you in it. Encourage somebody else that's also in it. That'll help you.
Look, and those, go sign up at bit.ly/grace to teach, y'all. It is going down on next weekend. Stay connected. We want you to get registered because we're sending things to you. You can get a wellness kit in the mail, and we want to love on you. We want to appreciate you. We want to help you remember to care for yourself. All right, y'all. So y'all go Grace to Teach, bit.ly/grace to teach. And we appreciate y'all big. Shout out to Dr. Keena. Bow, 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 bow. The Hamptonian family. And we are out. Bye, sis. Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Kenitra Moselle, and I am founder of a beautiful community called Grace for This. We are about women taking ownership of their wellness journey in 3 ways: personally, relationally, and professionally. I'm inviting you to be honest about your grieving experience, your healing experience, and then lastly, your building experience. You're going through this because you're graced for this.